We've got tips and recipes for healthy living. So for fun and inspiration, come and join us in the raw food world.
Welcome everybody. This is Matt Monarch with the Raw Food World TV show. And today in this video, the concepts that I'm going to share, the strategy can be so potentially profound to no matter where you are on your dietary path, whether you're eating fast food, a whole foods diet, or even a raw foods diet, that this concept, this strategy, has the potential to help anybody extremely. The title of this video is, Forget Raw Food, Do This. And additionally, not only will this hopefully help you with your dietary lifestyle, but also it can help you adapt socially and emotionally also. So you can actually help your diet and the social aspects at the same time, because many people know that, someone who's been on a whole foods diet for a few years, if they were to eat McDonald's, that would completely mess them up. And it's kind of like socially, they can't really hang out with their friends and go to the same restaurants and things like this. I mean, a vegetarian has enough difficult time hanging out with their buddies because they're like, you don't eat meat? Then what do you eat? It's like that. And then a vegan has it even harder, and a raw foodist, forget it. Your social lifestyle is kaput. Okay, so the concept I want to bring forth today is consistency. And this is huge. I'm going to tell you why this is so beneficial later, but let me explain what consistency is real quick. Now, no matter where it is, if you can eat consistently, no matter what your diet is, whether it's on the standard American diet, the whole foods diet, or a raw food diet, many beneficial things can happen to you when you eat consciously. You're going to eat this. And let me explain what consistency is real quick. I'm going to give you a couple examples. We'll start with the raw food diet because this is what I do and it's very easy. I always tell people I eat the same meal every single day, like it's a salad. And people are like, don't you get bored of that? Well, it's the same meal in terms of quantity. For example, every single day, like either I'll put almond butter in that salad, or I'll put Brazil nut butter or pumpkin seed butter. I switch up the nut butters to get different nutrients. Or for example, I'll use avocado as the fat source, like a quarter of an avocado or half an avocado, depending if I worked out or not. Or I'll use coconut meat instead. It's like the same quantity of food every single day. I do this consciously. Now, let's just take this to the fast food arena. Someone might, let's say they eat 2 meals a day, and one meal is they go to McDonald's, or they have a slew of different fast food restaurants. McDonald's, Taco Bell, Jack in the Box, In-N-Out Burger, and stuff like this. And let's say 2 hamburgers equals 2 bean burritos, or 2 In-N-Out double-doubles. They're eating something different every day, but if they're eating only 2 meals a day, a consistent diet would be like, okay, I'm going to do this raw food restaurant for this meal, and it's consistency. Now, what you do in between these meals, like let's say every single day you eat cookies and milk on your standard American diet, but you do that every single day, you're consistent with it, that's fine. That's part of your consistent diet. But now let's say, okay, you go out with your buddies one night, you drink alcohol, you pig out on sushi like nonstop, you're so stuffed, you've overeaten. This is more than you normally eat. Okay, so when you eat consistently like this, and there's a lot of leeway here to help adapt socially, so you can still go out with your friends and party, but check this out really quickly. When you eat consistently, when you eat the same quantities of food every single day, and it's not boring because you can just keep changing what it is, you're just eating different things but about the same quantity, what happens is every single night when we go to bed, we go through the cleansing of the human body, dialysis, the cleansing of the kidneys. Everything's cleansing. You wake up in the morning, you sometimes have a runny nose, not always, or you have stuff in your eye, you're a little groggy. Your body has cleansed out. Even me on a 100% raw food diet, who's been doing this for 15 years, I'm cleansing every single night. This is what happens. This is just like a natural law. When we go to bed and we rest the body, we cleanse. So what happens is when you eat consistently, your body morphs and adapts to that consistent diet. And it becomes your consistent diet. And when you cleanse at night, this is kind of, the cleansing happens, it gets rid of all the other stuff except for what you're putting inside of your body. Let's say that you smoke cigarettes every day. Let's say you smoke 10 cigarettes every single day as your consistent intake. We'll even call it diet because it's the same concept, intake. Your consistency on 10 cigarettes a day. You've done this. You feel good at 10 cigarettes a day. When you do 11, you've over-smoked. And during that process of cleansing at night, you cleanse that one extra cigarette, but every single night you're continually putting these 10 cigarettes into your body. So you're like, this is what you eat. There's no stopping this. You can't cleanse that out. You're introducing it into your body every single day. So it's like a hardcore thing. But what people don't eat consistently, they eat all across the board. They want to eat healthily, and then they eat this. They have this consistent base, but then they're always overeating. They're having emotional issues, or you're partying every single night with your friend. And this consistent diet usually expands and expands and expands and expands, and you become bigger and bigger, and you don't feel as well and stuff like this. So here is the key. No matter where you're at, even if you're on the standard American diet, what happens is when you eat consistently, like put a hardcore effort into eating what you eat consistently and stay there. And if you want, and this is why it's good to adapt socially too. So if you're doing this like 5 days a week, this is like you go to work, you sometimes don't really have time to go out with your friends, but consistently you're putting this effort in to eat this consistent diet, then every once in a while you go party with your friends. And then you totally bust out of this consistent diet, but that's like the foundation that you've created. You have fun with your friends, you get to party with them, you're still metamorphosing and adapting into your new consistent diet. And what happens is after you're done, two things you actually might feel really good because you've been eating so well and you've been going through withdrawals and you've been cleansing and getting this stuff out, that you might actually get stimulated when you go out and party with your friends. For example, when somebody, let's say, smokes 10 cigarettes a day, and then they want to hang out with their friends and they go up to 20 cigarettes that night, they're going to be stimulated because they got a lot more. And they feel great. And it's the same thing with any intake you have, even when it's food. So you're going to, what it does is it stops the withdrawal and detox process when you eat more. So you kind of like don't have that feeling of like detox and toxins running through your bloodstream. So you get stimulated by the food, and also it stops the withdrawals, and you feel like Superman possibly from just going out and partying with your friends. Now, the problem is there's laws here too. If you're to do that the second time in a row, you won't probably, because your body has to deal with cleansing all that stuff out that you just did from that night, you might like not get as stimulated and you'll feel okay. And then if you do it a third night in a row, you're going to feel like absolute crap, and you're just going to be like, friends, don't bother me for the next week. I got to get all this stuff out of me. So what happens is you have this consistent foundation. You party one night, you totally like, brr, and then you just go back to your consistent diet. That's your foundation. You just always go back there. And this cycle continues. So what happens next? Why is this so beneficial? How can Matt say, oh, eating, if your consistent diet is fast food restaurants, then what am I talking about here? So check this out. If you consciously eat a consistent diet, what happens is your body cleanses every single night. So if you've been eating consistently so well, this is what you're introducing every single day. It's your hardcore foundation. So if you've detoxed everything around that, you're going to still detox every single night when you go to sleep. So your body's going to be like, okay, I'm going to try to chip away at this foundation. And you're going to be like, okay, I'm going to stick with this consistent diet because this is how I feel. This is where I feel really good. But what happens is if you really put this effort, and you can even measure your food. The further you take it, the more insane it is. Like I kind of almost measure the amount of vegetables I have in this bowl, and this is the amount of vegetables I eat every single day. And so what happens is you start to chip away at that at night. And then what happens is it becomes easier to improve your diet. It's like, oh my God, I've adapted to this new diet. My body's trying to take to the next level, and I don't necessarily feel as well eating this diet. And this consistent diet that you've chosen, it's very important to choose something where you feel good and satiated and emotionally yes, like I can not be emotionally messed up. So this is why there's almost like permission on any type of diet. You can do this. But then as you metamorphose, and if you consciously do this and you adapt to this new diet, what happens is your body's going to start being like, okay, I can handle this emotionally. It's so easy. It's almost like I'm not feeling well anymore because my body's chipping away at it. So what happens is you can almost automatically improve your diet here and start to eat less or eliminate something completely from your diet. Like, okay, I'm going to stop eating McDonald's and I'm going to go to Subway instead and have a healthier meal every single day. And then what happens is your consistent diet becomes less now. And you feel so emotionally good and healthier and balanced on your new diet with Subway sandwiches. And this works all across the board. You could be on whole foods, and then you eliminate junk whole foods for like junk vegan foods for a healthier food and stuff like this. But the key is to be consistent most of the time. And when you do that, you adapt and you can party with your friends, but your body's going to restrict you. It's not going to let you do it 3 days in a row. So here you are, you've improved your diet, you feel great, and now you go every once in a while, maybe twice a week, once a week, 3 times a dozen, I don't know. You party with your friends, and the same thing, this is your new foundation. This is where we want to go. We want to stick with this new foundation. And then you party, whatever, and then you detox and you come back here. And what happens is when you go out with your friends, you begin to realize, wow, you're so much more healthy than everybody. And you feel better, and you could pick up on girls better, or you could dance more actively, or whatever it is you're doing and having fun, or more socially. You have more energy, and it's quite an amazing thing. And then also what starts to happen is when you start to go party with your friends, it's almost like less stimulates you more. Less gets you drunk more. I'm not saying everyone can drink alcohol. I'm just giving examples. I'm giving the most extreme example here for the majority of the population. So Matt didn't say this is okay. So here we are. Less stimulates you. You'll need 2 beers instead of 3 beers. Or you won't need to eat as much, pig out with everybody as much. You'll still eat as much as you want, but you see what I'm saying here? And then as the years go by, you stick with this foundation, just the consistency cycle that, I wouldn't be surprised if someone grabs this and writes a book about it. It's brilliant. And then what happens is you adapt, you metamorphose. So when you improve your diet, your body cleanses every single night, you feel great, and you're eating Subway sandwiches instead, and it metamorphoses. You're cleansing everything around you, your constant intake that you're plowing into your body every single day, the solid foundation. And then after a couple of years, okay, your body's like adapted and metamorphosed. You've actually adapted your social lifestyle too, because now you're not partying as much. You're probably not going out as much. You're probably drinking less, eating less with your friends. And then it's like, okay, let's just eliminate fast food. I'm going to start eating whole foods. Like, this is a process you can take slowly and adapt emotionally. And I mean, come on. Many people who are watching this, I'm a 100% raw food eater. I've been on a raw food diet for 15 years. I'm in this industry. Most people feel like they need to eat raw food. They feel this is the best. And if they eat cooked whole foods that are healthy, they go absolutely crazy and haywire. I mean, of course, this is a good goal to maintain, but we want to be in balance here. And a consistent diet that makes you feel good. Let me give you my example. For some reason, I've always done this, even when I was on a standard American diet. When I was younger, I ate pretty healthily. I never wanted to eat certain things like animal protein or go to fast food restaurants. But I developed late in puberty because I feel like I didn't eat these cow hormones and stuff like this, and it messed me up socially. I was like known as like the prepubescent kid, and I was really skinny and young. So when I hit 18 and went to college, I started lifting weights. I got to the point of lifting 300 pounds, and I injured myself. And that was a whole interesting story. But I evolved to where I wanted to get really big, and I was eating 2 double-doubles from In-N-Out 3 times a day. This was my morning, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I ate nothing else, but I was consistent with it. And what happened was I started to get zits on my face. And I'm like, okay, this isn't working. I can't live with this. I don't want zits. So I went down to these burritos from this place called Baja Fresh in California, and I just kept improving my diet gradually to where I was feeling good. I didn't get the zits and stuff like that, and where I can emotionally handle it. But I always ate 3 meals, and then when I started going on a healthier adventure, I would eat chicken sandwiches, and then I would eat tuna, and then something else. So it was like, this is how I improved. And then when I hit a raw food diet, when you go to the raw food diet, everything happens extremely rapidly, but we're not going to go there today. So the whole point of this video today is forget raw food. Drop it. Drop the weight that's holding you down, or drop even whole food. Whatever, like, you're trying to do something, it's totally messing you up. When you choose a consistent diet, consciously choose something to where you feel good, you're eating enough, you're satiated, you're emotionally feeling great, and then eat that every day, and then your body will automatically do the rest for you. But the conscious aspects that we have to do is to choose that diet, be as healthy as you can or want. You can even take it, you can even, let's say you're really emotionally messed up, you can actually even play with taking it to the most extreme. Like, be consistently overeating this one, like these, like, let's say that one night you go partying with your friends and you eat your cookies and you're emotional, like, let's just say that's like your craziest, most overeating thing, and you're in this like really low phase right now. Make that your consistent diet, but don't go any further. You're not going to feel well. You're going to be like, oh man, this is just not working. And like, okay, let's just fix this consistent diet. Okay, you got to like figure out what it is that emotionally makes you feel good, physically and everything. And this works, this concept, consistency. And what we don't want to be doing, which is happening all across the board, and why this is beneficial, a lot of people are probably saying they already do this, is there's no conscious effort put here. So this is one of the reasons why everyone on this is on the standard American diet, and there's these big bellies all everywhere. It's because they just eat more and more and more and more. They eat well for a little bit, and then all of a sudden they just blow. And it's like they have this solid foundation, but it's always growing and growing and growing and growing and growing to where people are obese. So this consistency concept has the potential to help you adapt physically to a new diet over time, take as long as you want, emotionally, and it's almost like effortless. It just happens automatically if you can just be conscious about this. It's amazing. You be conscious about it, you go party, but this is you, this is your life. Don't let anybody influence this foundation. If you need to be influenced, you go and party, but you come right back to this. You want to go to Thanksgiving, bam, you come right back to this. Just this is it. This is the new thing, the consistent foundation. And this can rock your world. Forget raw food, everybody. Although I'm a 100% raw food eater, this can work for you. And this is Matt Monarch with the Raw Food World TV show, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again at the Raw Food World.